Okay, can y'all hear me now? Okay. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Thank you, sis. So, with this Scorpio full moon energy, y'all, let me say this. Okay, awesome. So, I was like, my heart has really been broken by a lot of the things that I've been saying in the spiritual communities. People are losing sight of the purpose. In our community, I started off teaching magic ceremony, how to create your own rituals, which are lit rituals, rituals that lead to illumination, to learn more about yourself, not so much so directing it at other people, but for the purpose of transformation. And it's just what I see happen in the spiritual community is something that almost made me want to quit doing this completely. And some of the stories that I get from my clients, it's really heartbreaking to know that people are taking advantage of people's weaknesses. And that shit don't vibe right. It don't sit right with me. And I feel like if you move in integrity, this full moon is going to be really good for you. Because we're having to purge that. Maybe we made connections that seeded things in us that it's time for us to release. Like, you got to be okay with that. You've got to be okay. You got to have a process of being okay with the things that you usually are not okay with. You have to step away from feeling like people make you do something. Because even as I'm saying this about being heartbroken about what's happening in the spiritual community on so many levels, people that people thought they could trust find out they could not trust, just so much. And I'm not gonna really get into it because it doesn't deserve the attention and my breath. But I will say this: if you have people in your life that are controlling or that demand more energy than you have to give or want more than you are ready to give or ready to do, if you got people in your life, and maybe even you sometimes, you manipulate by withholding love, giving people the silent treatment. Like, it's okay sometimes, but my purpose in saying this is that we really need to use discernment. We really need to use discernment. We really need to take a pause and move when we're spiritually led to do so. We really got to tune out of the 3D matrix and all of the things that's happening with it. Because right now, the energy on the planet since this eclipse, and that's a conversation that I've been getting into on Patreon, it was not what we thought it was. I told y'all I've been seeing the motherships coming. Like I've been posted up almost every week, watching, listening, learning. That's not what we thought it was. And when Oracle shares something, oftentimes it gets swept under the rug, so I'm not even gonna do it here. But I'm releasing it in segments on Patreon. So get on Patreon if you're not, so that you don't miss out. Now, I'm just gonna pull some cards for the collective because for those of us who are in relationships or even a complicated situationship, or maybe you're dating, or maybe you're single and you're learning how to be in a relationship with yourself. Everything in life is a relationship. Your relationship with food, your relationship with substances, your relationship with the way you treat yourself. Like you in a relationship with you first. So everything that I say, if you're not in a relationship, can also be applied to your relationship with yourself and different aspects of you. Potential issues may be coming up right now with partners. People might be acting immature. People might be acting out. This is Scorpio full moon. I have a Scorpio moon. So like I know I can be vicious and I can cut people off real quick and be done. Once I feel like my boundaries not being respected and being crossed. So you might be picking up on some of that and feeling that way and feeling like you need to have more boundaries. Um, you know, a lot of us manifested relationships while we were deep in the illusion of Pisces. So you got to deal with that. You got to work through it. Everything is not about what people make you do. If you are the kind of person that's been saying, you made me mad, you made me do that, you made me say that, that's something you want to take completely out of your vocabulary because that's not going to anchor you on the new earth energy. That's something that's going to keep you in the lower vibration of 3D energy. Nobody can make you do anything. They might provide the trigger, but how you respond is nobody's business but your own. Okay? So let me just get that out the way and say that because it's going to be a whole lot of triggering. It's going to be a whole lot of triggering. If you've been prioritizing other people's needs above your own, you're going to probably really feel sick of that shit. You're probably going to really be in a place where you just like, you know what, I'm really tired of prioritizing people before myself. If you happen to be a woman, people are probably going to think you being a bitch. It's just part of the process. I posted about this like late last night on my Instagram. I might have shared it in the shorts on here too. So, what's going on is we're having to purge these karmic relationships and these karmic patterns. And I know for me, because I am an empath, I tend to attract people who need help, who need healing. But there's a time and place for everything, right? I don't need to be trying to heal everybody, and it's stuff going on with myself, and I'm not prioritizing my own needs. Some of us didn't know that wholeness existed inside of us, and so we got in relationships with people who are just as traumatized and fragmented as we are. This is a whole conversation. The crazy part about a lot of this journey is that I can talk about any topic and pull out information from the Akashic record that previously I did not know. So this is why I told y'all join the Untamed tier. You can put questions there. It don't matter what it is. I'm addressing it all. That's why the Untamed had to come into play for 2024. I'm not untamed. I'm not holding nothing back. I'm saying whatever I need to say, whatever is on my mind. I trust myself. I know that the accuracy of my gift. So I want to be in service by being in integrity first. So I want to see, what guidance we're being given right now. What guidance are we being given right now? Give me a message from the Akashic Records, because as we learn how to change our mindsets and our behaviors, we're changing our timelines, right? That's how we jump timelines, which means our Akashic Record is being edited. Hey, which means some of the things that we thought were fated, some of the generational patterns that we don't want a part of our life, we don't have to live, right? So that's rewriting the Akashic Record. So beautiful that we're being given the gift to do this, but too much is given, much is required. It is a great responsibility to be awakened. Give me guidance for the collective. Oh, was you on the bottom. In the world and not of the world. In the world and not of the world. This is going to be good. This is going to be really good because I think a lot of us, we got lost in our identity in the world. We got lost in the identity that we had to take on to be safe. A lot of men play hard and they got a soft side that they don't like to let nobody see. A lot of women had to be masculine just to survive, and now you're tired and you have this craving to rest more. This is the way that we have been manipulated, and this is the way things are changing. It is safe for you to become naked with life. I love that. I love that. Who here has been afraid of being naked with life? This doesn't necessarily mean stripping off and running wild in public, even though you could do it in your backyard at nighttime. But it does mean stripping back your beliefs, your strongholds, and your mental or emotional security blankets so that you can live with less obstruction than ever before. Imagine a conditioning that has kept life away from you, just kept it dropping out of your hands like keys, coins, or clocks. Conditioned beliefs about money, time, security, having, locking away, holding, and controlling. It can be surrendered. It can be allowed to fall away. What would it be like to feel as though you were on a holiday every day? Perhaps there would be a softening in your way with life, an implicit trust in its flow, and a faith in the ability of time to bend and stretch as needed so that all may be accomplished. It is at an advanced stage of our spiritual relationship with life that we are able to feel held within it sufficiently enough to surrender our defenses layer by layer and to nakedly accept what is. This oracle comes as a message to you. Sometimes we need our defenses. At other times, it is clear we are outgrowing them. There is something that you have outgrown. It has to do with your ideas about productivity, time, control, and money. It has to do with abundance, trust, and living with the fundamental belief that everything is going to turn out okay. You are ready to be much more vulnerable and exposed in life. You don't have to hide behind being organized, perfect, in control, or financially secure and stable. That's a big one. Not saying it's not important, but this is something that I notice being used against the collective of those who are spiritually awakening, who may be clearing poverty contracts or clearing karmic contracts where there was an energy attached to the money that you made that is no longer serving you. And I see this a lot. Generational wealth. You got to do this for generational wealth. And it's so much. It's so many things. It's like LexisNexis and do this and do that and contact this and contact that. And I went down in that rabbit hole. And after about 2 weeks in that rabbit hole, I was like, I'm not even focused on my spiritual condition. Like, I need to make sure that I'm leaving some spiritual generational wealth. And so it may be different. Everybody have a role to play. But right now, like we don't have to be worried about stability and money. And I know that it is a famine going on that has been created, right? But it's not gonna affect us. It's not gonna affect us in a negative way. That's why we've been through so much. We know how to adapt. We know how to innovate. All right. So it also says, nor do you need any other acceptable social face. No facades. It is time for you to loosen the strings of your own controlling nature. They are too tight and too restricted for you anyway, especially for women. Like, take your clothes off and be naked and be with yourself. Like, I got a whole little situation going on after I lost 50 pounds and shit don't sit like it used to. And for a little while it bothered me. But then I was like, this is a sign that I have consistently kept my weight off. Like, I'm fucking winning. Like, this is my trophy. Both of them hanging in front of me is my trophy, right? I'm winning. This is a really good way for you to just embody and be more comfortable with yourself. You want to lean into the magnetism, and even if it's not physically related, if it's not financially related, like where are you restricting yourself? So many of us have been restricted through our lifetime that now we restrict our own selves. We act like wardens over ourselves. We don't let ourselves live. We don't let ourselves breathe. Where are you restricted? If somebody in your life seems to be trying to control and restrict you, 9 times out of 10, you did it to yourself first. And they learned it from you. Change the way you treat yourself, and people will either change the way they treat you or disappear. You were born to live in a much freer way. When you live as you innately are rather than how you have been conditioned to be, you will experience greater joy, freedom, and support. When you are not resisting yourself or resisting life, there is less resisting what you need as it comes to you. If you have also drawn the oracle card of faith in the process, this represents a strong message that you're shedding. You might be shedding your whole identity. I had it happen to me many times. That's a common thing. If you feel like you have imposter syndrome sometimes, and feeling like you're not being real, that's a common thing. We're shedding layers of ourselves that's not serving us. Are you trying to keep up appearances? Those old forms were too constricting for you anyway. It is almost like your spirit was trying to walk about in shoes that were several times too small. They were starting to pinch, the seams were ripping, and eventually they will fall apart completely. Anything in your life right now that's falling apart is meant to. Let it. Don't try to fix it. Don't try to hold it together. And don't try to make it worse. Just take your hands off of it and let it be what it is. So you are being guided to trust. If you have also drawn this card, then you must have more faith in yourself. Whether this seems to be by choice or by force, you're being forced to look at your internal beliefs and see what no longer serves you, and it's time for you to let it go. It is your own spirit in cahoots with the loving spirit of life that has brought these situations about. So you're being guided to trust. You're being guided to trust yourself. You understand and know that this is all freeing you. After letting go, there comes a temporary time of emptiness that provides a greater space for fulfillment to come forth. So I talked about this period in your ascension process where there is this void, and in this void space, a lot of things don't make sense. Sometimes you don't even know what's next for you. In the void space, you oftentimes don't have clarity. This is usually when we book readings and seek out people who can look at our astrology or our human design and tell us what's going on, what's up ahead, what do I need to be preparing for. A lot of us are in that space. When a snake sheds its skin, it is a slow, gradual process of shedding. It is natural for us to not know who we are, not know what we really think, how we really feel, what we really love. A lot of us don't know. And for a lot of us women who are mothers, like we've been so focused on our children where we lost ourselves. We're trying to find ourselves. We're trying to regain equilibrium and figure out who we are. And what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of happening if you just let go? Right? Just ask yourself that. What am I afraid of? What will happen if I just let go? If I stop trying to control this thing that I can't control? What am I afraid of happening? And journal whatever comes to you. Don't think about it. Just write. What am I afraid will happen if I let go? And you're going to discover something about yourself that has been restricting you and holding you back. A lot of people that follow me have the exact same issue that I have been having to work through, which is the condition to play small. We have a hard time taking um, compliments. People compliment you, and you'll diminish it. Oh, I just threw this on. Oh, that food's so good, girl. I just threw something together. You know, we diminish our own selves because that's what we had to do to be safe. We had to be small, be quiet, be seen and not heard as children. It's not serving you to hold on to that no more. It's holding you back. Y'all got gifts that y'all are ready to use. It don't matter if you feel like you need to learn more, you need to do more. I'm not consistent. I'm not productive, right? I'm not investing the time that I need to. Do y'all realize who you are? Your life is not going to look anything like somebody who was just on the hamster wheel of the 3D matrix. And that's not even putting them down. Everybody have a role to play. Don't look at nobody else. Just focus on you. If people trigger you, that's a trigger that's occurring for you to learn something about you. Don't even talk to them about it. Stop trying to get people to explain why they hurt you. You can't make people make things make sense that they can't even make sense themselves, because hurt people hurt people. Like, don't invest energy in these things. I'm telling y'all, with this energy right now, a simple conversation can turn into a terrible fight that don't have to happen. So don't do it. If you got issues that you've been wanting to address, like, this is not the time, especially during Mercury retrograde. It's likely it's going to be miscommunicated. Just remember, though you are in this 3D world, you are not of this 3D world. I'm going to walk you through a visualization that you can use to embody this card. You don't have to do anything but listen and feel the words. Imagine that you are running naked into a sea, an ocean, a river, or a waterfall. Be cleansed. Feel it happening. Be with it and enjoy the sensation of it. Feel freed of any weight that you no longer need, be it physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual. Let go on all levels. Feel that feeling of Mama Earth's water, her blood, cleansing you, removing what no longer serves you. What does it feel like? What does it feel like to just be naked and free? That feeling that this visualization creates is the feeling that you want to set an intention to experience. That level of freedom, especially if right now you're not feeling free. Manifestation is a combination of our intention, which is to be free from anything that has restricted us and made us small. Your attention, what are you paying attention to? Not just in the moment that you set an intention or have an affirmation, but what you pay attention to that comes after that is going to give you what you are creating. So your awareness, what are you being aware of? If you have a disagreement or somebody do something that irritates you, can you switch your awareness from the irritation to how you're being given an opportunity to respond in a way where you're a thermostat and not a thermometer? What are you aware of? Right? Becoming aware. This is how you intentionally, deliberately manifest what you want. And if anything is giving you a feeling other than feeling free like this, and it feel like a constant struggle, take your hands off of it. Don't try to control it. Don't try to fix it. Don't do anything. Just observe and release. And I'm gonna pull one more card to assist y'all into this, because I know for some of y'all, hearing me say this is one thing, but being able to practically apply it is another. So I'm gonna pull a card as to what can help you to do this, because it's easier said than done. I'm a control freak. I'll be the first to tell you, I'm a control freak. Most codependents are control freaks. Narcissists are control freaks, but codependents are too. Because if I can control my environment, I can feel safer. It takes a lot of psychic energy to constantly control your environment. And it's not healthy to do long term. And a lot of us have been doing the long term. What tool will help us to let go of the things that we cannot control, to trust the process? We actually drain ourselves. Yeah. We actually restrict ourselves. And the people and situations in our life just show up as a mirror to that, so that we can make adjustments. Don't give me nothing rooty pooty now. Go ahead and give me something that's going to get straight to the rooty tooty of this. What can we use and what can we do that's going to help us? That's going to help us. My cards be talking back to me. Living in gold tektite. Manifestation. Didn't I just say that? What are you manifesting? When you don't release control, what does that manifest? Just imagine somebody drowning. You're trying to pull them up and they're pulling you down, because they just kick in and won't be still. They won't even trust that you pulling them up. So they pulling you down, now both of y'all go drown. Right? You have to let go. And maybe you will watch some people crash and burn. Maybe you will watch some situations fall apart completely. But you got to save yourself. You got to save yourself. Ain't nobody gonna save you. Ain't nobody coming to get you. Ain't nobody. It's you. It is you. You are everything that you need. Opal, which represents joy. Who stole your joy? Where your joy at? When your joy leaves, what's happening that's causing your joy to leave? How do you get it back? How do you feel joy again? How do you tap into that? This is how you manifest. You cannot, look, you can't manifest nothing beautiful that's in alignment with your soul without joy. What brings you joy? Start making a list of what brings you joy. Make a list. When it just comes to you, write it down. If you ain't got no pencil and paper, put it in your phone. Text it to yourself. What brings you joy as you go through the rest of your day? Like things that just make you feel good and bring you joy. Make a list of it. And you go to those things when you need to. The time is over for us to just ride the wave of whatever emotional current comes through. It's time for us to start driving. Like you need to drive your ship. Oh no, okay. I've been in the waters of rage for the last 6 minutes. That's not good for my liver. That's not good for my heart. Let me find a way to release this. Let me find a way to let this go. And once I let it go, let me find something that's gonna bring me joy. You have to the time is now for us to move like this. Do y'all know how serious this is? People who are not doing this, people who are not privy or even drawn to spiritual information, are being swept away by the chaos. They don't even know what to do. They don't know where to begin. You cannot just be a victim to reality. This is a simulated reality, a holographic reality. We done seen shit happening in our skies just since August 8th that we ain't never seen before. Everything is a mind fuck. Everything is drawing for your attention. Everything outside of you wants you to feel fear. Pay attention to what brings you joy. Pay attention to what saps your joy. And start making your decisions based on that. Morganite, relationship healing. I said at the very beginning. First, focus on healing your relationship with yourself, especially if you are in a relationship or desire to be in a relationship. Focus on healing your relationship to yourself, not the parts of yourself that you like, the parts of yourself that you don't like, the parts of yourself that you criticize yourself about. That inner critic is constantly talking. That's okay. That's fine. That's just a recorder. Let it be background music. You don't have to patent these problems. You don't have to put copyrights on these criticisms. It's just let it pass. It'll pass. Shift your mind back to something else. Healing your relationship to yourself. Healing your relationship to your children. Healing your relationship with your ancestors. Healing your relationship. Look, I'm so ready to release this course, and it's taking me longer than I expected because I'm wanting to put so much in it that you all get a lot out of it. But let me say this. Anybody that ever hurt you, anybody that ever hurt you, took something away from you. They took a part of you when they hurt you. You take that part of you back when you can forgive them and release them. This is the reason why I don't really teach magic to try to hurt people for hurting you, because the energy of Mayat restores balance. Oftentimes people who hurt me, I'll hear about them or run into them and they doing real bad. So that's a waste of energy. Don't even focus on that. Focus on releasing them from your energy field. If just the name of somebody upsets you and triggers you, it lets you know that they still got some of your power. They still have some of the real estate of your soul. Take your energy back. Release it. If you don't know how to forgive, and I know sometimes, especially like if somebody do something to your children, like that's forgiving, that's a process. Because you're going to go through the process of wanting to hurt their ass for a while. That's a process, but be okay with the process. Just make sure that you're moving in the direction of calling your energy back. Forgiveness is never for them. It's always for you. And you can say it over and over again. I release you. I'm forgiving you not because you deserve to be forgiven, but I deserve to be free from the hurt that you caused me. Don't let people see you suffer. Even if they don't actually see you, like don't suffer because of something somebody did. When you release it and when you use, like on Patreon, I teach a lot of ways you can deal with black magic and evil eye energy, especially from like people we close to. Cord cuttings, um, egg limpia, which is an egg cleansing. You could do coconut milk head cleansing to cleanse that energy, because this energy oftentimes embeds itself in us. And so if you're energetically still connected to somebody or a situation that hurt you, at any point in time, that energy is going to drain you. And with this full moon being in Scorpio, so many people going to be wanting to get revenge. People going to be being spiteful. And a lot of it is unconscious. It's not even like, oh, I'm going to make sure that I be spiteful to you because of what you did yesterday. And a lot of it is unconscious. These are unconscious ways that we learn to protect ourselves and to cope. Like, it's not serving us to do that anymore. Y'all, we got to heal our relationships. Healing your relationship to healing your relationship with the victim inside of you. That's your wounded inner child. How's that relationship? Show me your relationship with your wounded inner child, and I will show you your life. Your relationship with your wounded inner child determines your future. more than all the other things in the 3D matrix that we've been conditioned to believe. Future is not like financial future. It's not just determined by how much you can work. It's determined by the mindset while you're doing the work that you're doing. Right? This is Aquarian energy. This is mental energy. Last one. Boji stones. Balance. These stones are always found with a masculine and a feminine. How ironic is that? I was just talking about Mayat. So this balance with the North Node in Aries, the South Node in Libra, this is restoring balance in our relationships between the masculine part of us and the feminine part of us. It's so important to be tapped into both. If you only operate in the masculine and logic, force, pushing yourself, you're gonna hurt yourself. Because we're anchoring frequencies we have not anchored before and we're not used to. If you ignore the feminine, you don't take proper time to rest, you don't create ways for you to relax, you don't create the sacred environment to do this, if you're not practicing using intuition, you're going to be out of balance. We have masculine and feminine within us because we're supposed to use both hemispheres of the brain. But society is linear and logical. The patriarchy is linear and logical. It has not been emotional. So a lot of us have turned off our emotions just to get through life. You can't heal your relationships if you're emotionally numb. Men are struggling in their relationships with women because a lot of them haven't done any work with the feminine part of them. See, when a woman just feel a way about a man, I'm talking about when a man can make a woman just feel a way, where she feel free, she feels safe. It's not just the masculine in him that provides that. It's the feminine nurturing essence that's within him that provides that for her. When a woman has to operate in her masculine because her man doesn't have balance between his masculine and his feminine, then the man is less attracted to the woman because she's in masculine energy. And by way of the law of pendulum, the man is going to swing into toxic feminine energy, and he will get spiteful, he will get resentful, he will get bitter, he will have emotional outbursts. And the woman will go numb in her masculine energy. This is what has happened to us. And there's this flip-flop that's occurring right now. So to restore balance, if you don't know the characteristics of the right hemisphere, which is the feminine, and the left hemisphere, which is the masculine, learn those characteristics and consciously start practicing being the embodiment of both. Anybody who is not learning this will not be able to create and sustain healthy relationship dynamics. Not at all. And I could go on and on about this, but I'm not. But I will say this: so much of what I have said for the past 10 years is coming to fruition now. I'm seeing a lot of other people speaking about things that I've been speaking about for a while, and it's not knowledge that's like really accepted. I'm gonna give you an example. Especially with this Scorpio moon, because the Scorpion is a feminine energy, and in a lot of mythology, Scorpio stings the foot, right? The foot is the direction, represents the direction that we're walking in. So if you're walking in a direction that's leading you somewhere that's outside of your vision, that's not useful for you, even worse, that's dangerous for you, that's gonna fall apart. It's just People not gonna show up, people go cancel, things go like this is what's happening. Don't take it personally. Don't allow yourself to be tricked into feeling like it's something wrong with you, the reason why stuff keep not working out. No, you're being rerouted. You're being rerouted. Your internal spiritual GPS system obviously sees something you don't see. You're being rerouted. Um, accept the interference as divine intervention. Because there are some things that you are not aware of that's been happening, that's been kept secret, and it could do you harm in the future. You're being protected from that. Surrendering, letting go what you cannot control is a form of protection. Each of us have deities that are assigned to us to assist us in this journey. When you know who walking with you, you go move different. When when you know how to connect and communicate with your guides, with the ancestors who are actually beneficial, because all ancestors ain't beneficial. But when you know who walking with you, people are going to treat you different because they're not just experiencing your energy, they're experiencing the energy of the divinity that walks with you. And if something is not for you, let it go. Just, I'm telling you, take your hands off of it. When somebody tried to, I'll even go as far to say this. We know that there are entities that have been coming into our dimension. And Earth is a buffet. Like, Earth is like the Piccadilly of the galaxy, the one in the hood, where you go get the lemonade with about 2 bags of sugar in it. You go get like it's all real good and delicious while you partaking of it. Like Earth is a buffet, and a lot of these dimensional entities that come here, they hang around people who are in certain energies a lot. The Gnostics call them archons. So who are you feeding? What are you feeding? Because if somebody got archons attached to them, let's say it's not you, it could be you because it happens to all of us. But I'm talking about external experiences right now because that's usually what throws us off track. So if somebody been feeding these entities and nothing is happening because you're not giving them any energy anymore, this is what happened with narcissism when they discard you, right? And they go find a new supply. You want people to find a new supply. If something ain't healthy about a dynamic, you want to keep yourself in a new me stay. That's holding on to the new me, staying right here in the present moment, not allowing what you do to cause me to act in a way that's going to feed the parasites that's existing within you. When you stop feeding them, they will leave you alone. They cannot stand to be starved. They can't go without being fed for a certain amount of time. A lot of us just feed it too much. And even within yourself, entity attachments is a very common thing. It can happen just from going to the store and being an empath who hasn't put up any boundaries, right? I do my visualization and put my spirit light around me or indigo color, whatever color is resonating. But if you don't do the work, you can pick up stuff, pick up energies. That's why I talk about getting the benzoin. Get the benzoin. If you love Palo Santo, we got that too. But get the benzoin resin and start burning. I'm telling you, you'll notice a difference. But when you start carrying yourself in a way where you are no longer food for these energies that feed off of desperation, pain, suffering, and fear, your life is going to change without you doing much of anything but changing how you respond and what you invest your attention into. Drain things of your attention that you don't want in your life. Just don't give it any attention. Just don't pay attention to it. Because what you invest in is what you get. And if you're paying attention to even watching too many videos about the traits of narcissism and stuff, pull away from that for a moment. Like you done learned enough. You know. You know what you've been through. You know better than anybody, even if nobody else accepts that this is what you've been through. And people say that you're lying. That's a common thing when you start to awaken to dysfunction in family patterns. And people are like, no, it was never like that. You know what you know. Trust yourself. Take care of yourself. Protect yourself. Scorpio is all about protection. Protect yourself. Y'all need to get serious about y'all journey again. A lot of y'all kind of fell off, and it's time for you to get back up and get on. Like, we need you. The people who have stepped out in the front cannot do this work by themselves. Everybody play a role. Um, so I'm gonna stop here because I already gave y'all visualizations. I gave y'all some exercises that you could use, and ways that you can respond to keep yourself from becoming a thermometer. You don't want to be letting other people control your temperature. That's gonna screw up your manifestations, right? And then you're gonna be mad at them later. Trust me, I've been there. Don't let people take away from you what you worked so hard for. And if you can't hold on to nothing but your peace, protect your peace. Protect your peace at all costs. You know, get serious. When you fall asleep at night, at least listen to meditation music. At least listen to mantras. Within Vedic astrology, there are maleficent positions of planets that do stir up certain experiences until we become aware of them and make adjustments. And the remedies for that are mantras. The remedies for that are Sanskrit words, are sounds. So if you need help with that, just book a reading with me. Some of y'all said y'all had trouble booking a reading. Just email me or send me a message if you are a member on the website. Send me a message letting me know you want to book a reading, and I'll get into that with you, and we'll see like what is happening with you. We can look into your chart. I can look into your human design, your Akashic record, and I can also look into your subconscious mind and see what's happening there, and let you know what guides are walking with you right now, because maybe they're trying to show you something that you've been refusing to see. And so you're repeating situations because you haven't got the message. So if you would like to book a reading with me, my schedule is open for now. I don't know how long I'm gonna keep my schedule open because I'm planning a retreat as well. But if you want to book a reading with me, I'm gonna make sure the links are in the description if they're not already down there. Like I said, I can't chat. I don't know why the chat function is not working. Um, but y'all know how they go. When somebody is really, anyway, y'all know how they go. So it's okay. But send me a message. Let me know. For those of you who are not on Patreon yet, like, become an NVIP. There's so much that I can say over there that I cannot say over here. And I know y'all be watching them weird conspiracy videos late at night. It's like a common thing among people that's going through this ascension process. And you just attract this weird information and you fall into these rabbit holes. Like, I connect all of those dots. I've separated what I do here from there because I kept getting my channel shadow banned doing it. So yes, so that's there. And I got a tier as low as $1. So like, if you're just in a financial constraint right now, like, you don't have to spend a lot of money. You still get access to 350 plus posts. And I'm constantly building up that body of work each week. So check that out. I'm going to be putting something out really it is time for me to go. But I enjoyed y'all. I missed y'all. Like I said, I've been really deep in my healing work, making sure that I'm in integrity and that when I come in front of y'all, I'm in my highest form of self. So that when you connect with me, you're actually getting transformation. If you want to work with me one on one, reach out and let me know. And stay tuned for the next Campson Oracle Untamed episode 4. I'll let y'all tell me what y'all want me to talk about, and I just give myself to be in service to you. And I never know what I'm gonna say until I say it. But it's always interesting. And the last Untamed, episode 3, the full version of that is on Patreon. Listen to the mother tongue at the end. Mother tongue is not the same thing as light language. Mother tongue is speaking from the primordial mother essence. This is the mother creation of all things. And I've done research, a lot of these words, and I had people tell me from my culture and my language, you're speaking a lot of the words that we speak in our ceremonies. So this has been like probably a 20-year process of me practicing this, and it's really, really powerful. Everybody receive the message that they're meant to receive when they listen to those mother tongue sessions. So I did that at the end of the last Camps Untamed. Go tap into that. And again, I love y'all. I gotta go. Peace out. Namaste. Namaste.